Привет, comrades, it is I, Spang, bringing you yet another World of Tanks gameplay commentary. If you are wondering why yet again I am doing my bad Russian accent, it is once again due to the fact that this is a replay sentence from Tsar Hollow. If you really hate my bad Russian accent, just tell me never to do it when I am doing your commentary. It will only be done if you say you want it during your replay, therefore I will never do it during mine. But anyway, back to game. This is a standard battle on Fisherman's Bay. There is no other type of battle on Fisherman's Bay, so I guess I did not need to say that. Enemy team being very good mannered, saying GL in HF, TY you two, you know, everybody is comrades in this game. Now this is a tier 8 battle, but with only one tier 8 per team, and that M5 Stuart saying he will kill them. That is the M5A1, which I do believe is a Chinese tank, not an American tank. So it is, but it is still a very low tier. It is only tier 4. The T28 prototype saying, yes, of course you will. Ha ha ha. Of course. Smiley face. Now, there is quite a bit of Russian tanks in this game. Lots of KV-1Ss, lots of SU-152s. It is quite the Russian-dominated match, but that really has very little bearing on it. Honestly, the KV-1S, yes, while it is a potent tier 6 gun, only if you have it upgraded, mind you, but it is still a soft tank, and it is still very capable of getting killed in 1 or 2 shots versus a tier 8 or even a tier 7 depending on the tank. But it seems like it is a fairly even battle, though that AC meal, that is an AC meal, yes it is. It can be quite the hard target to get through, at least in my experience. Now, one thing to note is that our friend here, he is using the Derp gun, the 152mm cannon on this SU-152. Personally, I prefer the 122 with a rate of fire of over 8 rounds per minute. It tends to be quite the deadly cannon, though you only do have 175 penetration, so it has quite the difficult time getting through the opponent. But right there, our friend getting very lucky, penetrating with an armor-piercing round on that 152, dealing quite a lot of damage. Now that was a 2-hit. He did not do over 1,000 damage by himself due to the fact that his gun is only an average damage of 750, or is it 700? I believe it is only 7. Yes, 135 penetration, so slightly better than the KV-2, but still, he's doing quite a good job. He killed a KV-1S. Perhaps I may have to switch up my strategy. At this point, this tank really is functioning more like a 704 or a ISU, in that it is using a high damage gun with a slow rate of fire. This T50/2 or this chances of him, he may get through this. Now there we go, he's using HE rounds now, not doing nearly as much damage, but I do believe that first shot was an AP round, getting very lucky on that penetrating shot. So he's doing quite well for himself. His team is up by 3 tanks. They have a good force in the field to the 1-2 line. They have a good force in the city. The enemy team really just getting dominated by his forces, so he is playing cautiously as a tank destroyer should. Tank destroyers are not meant to be frontline brawlers. They are meant to be snipers, supporting your team from the rear end, just making sure, 1, guarding the base against scouts and the like, and protecting artillery, and 2, watching your teammates flank, making sure the enemy is not getting any nasty surprises on your allies, your comrades. And so he is playing quite well as a tank destroyer. Now I do tend to be a little more aggressive, which oftentimes gets me killed a lot sooner than I should. But with my tank destroyers, I mean, I do own a T110 Echo 4, so that American TD is quite well armored. Actually, many high tier tank destroyers do end up having better armor. There we go, not even aiming. So he is definitely not concerned about the inaccuracy of the 152, otherwise known as the Derp. And the enemy team getting absolutely dominated. He is up to 2 kills, and I have to say, he is playing very well as a tank destroyer, as I have said, but at the same time, he isn't really being put in any extraordinary circumstances. This seems somewhat of a standard battle, which is why this was sent in before my before my revision of my submission guidelines, so I am obligated to do it. But at the same time, this is one of the reasons that perhaps I should have switched, that I did actually switch to not doing every replay that has been sent to me. This may have not made it otherwise. Like I said, he's playing very well, but it seems something of a standard battle. Nothing really extraordinary. Now, like I said, it's a good example of how you should play as a tank destroyer, but it is, there is no 5 versus 1, there is no close match. This is a pretty steady, just victory march towards the enemy's destruction. So it's really, I don't know a Russian word for it. Like I said, I've never studied Russian. I know Privyet, which is hello, and I know Das Vidanya, which is goodbye, and I know Spasiba, which is thank you. And that is it, and that is only because I have looked that up. Now, the enemy team holding out hope in that last sector up in the upper, I would say that is the northwestern corner. If you take that up on the map is north, which many people do. This T-20 perhaps about to die. He has an HE shell loaded, but it will miss. The inaccuracy of this gun finally coming into effect. He still has 2 kills, but Zarhalo doing very well for himself this match, and his team just absolutely not giving this enemy a chance at victory, which is, honestly, I do not prefer the games well, yes I do. I do like close games, I like good games, but at the same time, I will take a solid victory any day over a crushing defeat. So there we go, kill number 3. This T-20 really has no chance. Kill Hollow, he has yet to, Zarhalo has yet to suffer any sort of damage. The SU-152 on the enemy team perhaps is going to change. Ooh, pardon me, I just had a little bit of gas. But perhaps the ISU wanting to change that up a bit, and there we go, a shell fired clearly at our friend here. Hopefully he does not die. That would be very unfortunate. There we go, the ISU-152. No, that is simply the SU-152, which I do not even know what gun he has, but it does not look like it will matter. Now the ISU-152, perhaps he has that BL-10, that 750 damage gun, but he is very much half alive or mostly dead, however you want to look at it. And he really does not stand much of a chance. Perhaps artillery will get the kill, which would be good for artillery since they have yet to get a kill. But I will not say they were useless. The value of a artillery member is not judged by the number of his kills. The ISU taking out one last of his opponents before he succumbs to his tank's, I suppose, damage. But very well played. Pretty much a standard victory march. A very good, solid game. But like I said before, part of the reason I am starting to, well, I am not the one doing it, it is my comrade, Mr. Garrett, otherwise known as, I think, Shamrock. I don't know what his online alias is, but he will be pre-screening replays and simply in an attempt to bring better entertainment to you guys. But anyway, if you want to hear my Russian accent some more, simply let me know when you send in the replay. If you don't, simply tell me, don't say anything, and I will just do it standard. But anyway, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have a replay, just check the description on instructions on how to submit. This has been Spang, Das Vidanya.